What's up, guys? I'm doing a deck profile on a deck that I took to OTS in Ellensburg, Washington. I got second place, as the title says. It was a fairly small OTS, more or less, I guess you could say, just larger locals, I guess, for the most part. Something that I've been playing at like my locals here in town for couple weeks, well, no, more like a couple months now. Just been trying to perfect it. I wasn't sure on playing this, but I opted to on the drive there. Figured, why not? Anyways, I'll kind of go over a little bit of detail as to why I played what I played. It's a pretty linear deck, and the win condition and concept is fairly simple, so there's not like a lot of combos, I guess you could say. But anyways, Yosenju's very standard. You play 3 of each, 1, 2, and 3. I played 1 Sujik. I see people play 1, 2, or 3. I guess it's preference. I personally don't really want to see it. I was only playing 2 until I got to the event, and I decided 1's good enough. It stops your summoning. I mean, it's searchable. It has to be the last one because it doesn't let you summon the other one, so that's why I only played 1. The attack boost, because it can make them gain 1,000, did come up. Actually, it came up quite a few times. I'd say probably like 4 or 5 times, which was nice. That's it for Yosenju's. This package was nuts. This card right here baits out Ashes, Veilers, every hand trap. They do not want a Crystal Wing on the board because they're terrified of it, especially one that's indestructible at that. This will bait out everything, all the strikes, anything that negates, and then you just beat them down. This got Veiler twice and Ash maybe like a couple times, but it was amazing. Yeah, package is great. 6 hand traps. I guess a little bit different lineup than most people play. Ash is Ash. I guess you kind of got to play it. This was okay. It was really lackluster. I would rather cut this. I was playing 42 cards, and the reason why I was playing 42 is because this was in the main deck. This was last second, and I do not regret playing. This card was nuts. I'm beyond happy that I main decked this. I would have probably just cut this altogether. I think it came up once, and that was really it. Outside of that, I didn't see it, or when it came up, it was just fodder for Twin Twisters. That's really it. That's it for that. Kaijus. Package 5. Played 1 of this. I guess I didn't see this at all, so I wouldn't mind playing 2. And in that sense, that I didn't see it at all at 1, but it's there. It's good. I don't know. As I mentioned, the Veilers were the only things in question to bring me down to 40. Maybe play this instead of a Veiler. I don't know. Anyways, 3 board wipes. These cards were great. I know a lot of people stray from Raigeki or even Dark Hole in the main deck. This is Rogue. Rogue will always play kind of this kind of stuff because you're always behind. You're not as fast as the meta, unfortunately. I was playing Sujik, 2 of them, for a while, and it was dead more than it was live, and finally got tired of it, as I mentioned as soon as I got to the event. Changed my mind. I threw in a Dark Hole. Amazing. Bait out negations, cards that protect, and I mean, on top of that, it's a board wipe. But that's it for that kind of stuff, for like board wipes and monster control, I guess you could say. Have to play through these. it's not neg 9. It's a +1. Especially in a deck like this, like you want to push them to where they're so far behind, and just a single. You do not want to go first with this deck, as you can tell by now. Doesn't matter if I win the die roll. I always let my opponent go first. I want to go second. I cannot do anything going first besides a Crystal Wing. Realistically, that's all I can do. Or make a babushka, which, I mean, I'll get to later, but that's it. I mean, that's, very lackluster. Banishing 9 cards or 10 cards is literally whatever. If I can get another 2 Yosenjus, I mean, in theory, that's the best possible, scenario where I get 2 extra Yosenjus, bait out all their hand traps, their negations, and then just pump in, 5,000-6,000 damage, and they panic. I noticed that a lot of people, when they're pretty low on life points, maybe like 1,000 or 2,000, because I just punched them, for a bunch, they start to panic, they misplay, which plays in my favor. This deck makes you be scared, as far as, am I going to get board wiped? Am I going to get Kaiju? That kind of stuff. Anyways, 3 tankies. Search out your Yosenjus. This card it's a staple. It's really good. Didn't get ashed once, I think, actually, so I was really happy about that. This is usually, I'll bait out ash with this, and then I'll do this, because I'd rather, I guess this is random, obviously, as opposed to deciding what gets added, but I'd rather get the extra card out of it, so I always bait, and then go with that, but never got ashed, so I'm really happy about that. I think I only got ashed once. Actually, I probably got ashed like 3 or 4 times, but it was just Windwitch. Like I said, no one wants to deal with the Crystal Wing that's indestructible. This was for Rogue, Sky Striker, Altergeist. Insurance card. It's better to have it than not to have it. That's just my theory. This was alright. Won me the match. It was game 2 against Salamangreat, and it was a really grindy game. And he made the fusion guy and left me with like 500 life points, and took it. I killed it, took it, and just poked him over and over and over again in game. This is the spice right here. Win condition. You see it, you win. I didn't see it as much as I would have liked to, but when I did see it, I won. As mentioned, you don't ever go first. You play too many cards that go second, and even if you lose a die roll, obviously your opponent's going to choose to go first, so that plays in your favor. I have a buddy from locals who I played round 1, actually. He played BA, and I won the die roll, forced him to go first, and I beat him. And then game 2, he made me go second, or he made me go first because he knew that this deck underperforms if it's going first. There's nothing you can do. I still won though, and this is why. This was last second. I pulled them out of the OTS packs that I got for the entry fee, and I figured, hey, why not? It could come up. I don't remember what I took out for it. I think it was a 3rd Veiler, a Jinzo, I don't know, just some random stuff, and I'm happy I put these in. I set these in against him because he made me go first, and I figured he would, and I set this, a bunch of Kaijus and Yosenjus, which is the whole, concept. Give him a Kaiju, take it right back. Flip this, stun him out of the turn, pushed for game, basically. Sky Striker, this. The 3rd twin, just, Rogue. That's basically what I listed previously. MVP, I wouldn't say of the entire tournament, but definitely of the sideboard, man. This card was nuts against... I played ABC round 3, I believe. Yeah, round 3. Completely stunned him out. Couldn't play Yu-Gi-Oh! A little salty about it. But, yeah, I mean, this deck doesn't rely on its graveyard for its squat outside of the Monster Reborn, I guess. This card, win condition. You get Ultimate Falcon, they cry, they have nothing that they can do. This is obviously Yosenju's. People think that you play a bunch of back row. They're going to side in their Twin Twisters. The back row destruction, they're going to think you play traps. You just did not happen to draw any. And then you get a win condition. This was kind of experimental. I didn't cite it in once. In theory, I thought it would be really good if I had to play like maybe against Paleos or I don't know, something rogue with strikes and stuff. But it could be anything else. I'd probably put 3 Veilers instead in the side, or even like 2 Veilers and a third Droll, and then just cut Veiler completely, play 40 cards instead. Well, that's it as far as that goes. For the extra deck, you don't really rely on it, but I don't want to play Extravagance only because the Windwitch engine, you kind of got to, make these. That was good. Didn't come up. This was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you wipe their board. If you're not able to close the game, you do have this on board, and it makes it to where they can't do anything. So, yeah. Came up against ABCs. I made it. Slowed down the game quite a bit. Stun him out of his Dragon Buster. I figured it'd be better to stun him out of his Dragon Busters than just to burn for an extra 800. That just completely slows him down. So, that's that. Didn't make it. Yeah. I played 2. This card is really good. It's insane, in my opinion. But I didn't make it once, which I'm really bummed. The last in Top Cut, I should have made this against Sky Striker. In my opinion, I would have put him too far behind to catch up. But I goofed up, unfortunately. It happens, oh well. Other random, rank 4s. These didn't come up. I was hoping this would come up so I can cowboy someone for game. It's the greatest feeling ever. Rogue didn't come up. Came up against BA. I ended up making it after I Silent Graveyard, as I said. I pumped some damage in and then made this, and yeah, that was it. Won me game 1, was it? Against what was it? Thunder Dragons. Basically, he made a big board. I broke it, pumped damage, made this, and he lost. And then, of course, this. Yeah, you win. Your opponent basically can't do anything. And if they somehow can, it's going to take a couple turns. Like, you're going to stall enough to where you build resources, and they're exhausting them just to clear this. So they basically fall behind, and yeah, you gotta. Other than that, as mentioned, it's a really linear deck. The whole concept is just stunning the opponent, clearing their boards, and then yeah, just pumping in damage. And other than that, there's really no big combo. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Deck's a little slow. Obviously, Yosenjus are old. Windwitch engine kind of gives it a nice little boost because they are wind, so your summon restriction with the level 4 tuner, is it? Doesn't affect you at all, that one. But yeah, Kaijus are still nuts. I don't know why we got that back to 3, but hey, I'll take it. Yeah, feel free to leave a comment. My first deck profile, so it's probably a little sloppy, but yeah, any feedback's appreciated, and hope you guys have a good one.